Masters of the Universe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles of Grayskull, issue number 4 from Dark Horse Comics. So this is the final issue of this little mini-series. We start off with Rennet being chased through different time periods, and she's being chased by Ninjor. I have no idea who Ninjor is. I mean, I know he's the main antagonist of this series, but I don't think he ever appeared in any Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles run, nor has he appeared in any He-Man run. I think this is a character created just for this series. But yeah, we basically get them jumping through a bunch of different time periods until eventually she ends up in this realm where He-Man, the Turtles, and their group are fighting against Krang, Skeletor, and Shredder. And basically they're in this realm, has like trapped them here, and if they're not able to jump anymore. If something happens to one of the turtles or to He-Man or whatever, Rennet is able to like unravel time to like fix that. Like in the beginning, we saw an evil Adam killing a bunch of people. Rennet is basically able to like take them into a different timeline where that doesn't happen, but she can't do that anymore. So if they die here, then they die for good. They start talking about Ninjor. And Shredder mentions that he knows who this is. That this was a former Foot Clan student years ago. Splinter says, yeah, I recall him. He was trained by Hamato Yoshi, but he was expelled for his dishonor. And he chose to call himself Ninjor. And then He-Man mentions that he battled Ninjor once and that he was an assassin from another world. And he attacked the king at the command of Skeletor. He's like, well, after He-Man knocked him around, I sent him packing. So basically, Ninjor is pissed off. He feels like he's been abandoned by his masters. Hamato Yoshi exiled him. Skeletor exiled him. So everyone he goes to for training or just to like work under end up getting rid of him. And so he's pissed. And now he wants to kill his former masters, but not just his former masters, but also their students, which includes the Turtles. That's when this ooze starts dropping onto He-Man and it transforms him. It makes him basically the Incredible Hulk. And he like rips the giant org that Krang is using as a body and he punches Shredder. And we get somewhat of a team up in the sense that April, Man-at-Arms, Krang, Skeletor, and Shredder decide to make their escape. And they don't decide to attack each other or anything. They're like, okay, well, we're going to put our differences aside. We're going to try to get the hell out of here because we don't want to get attacked by the Incredible Hulk He-Man. Meanwhile, Casey Jones, the Turtles, and Splinter are going to, I guess, try to slow him down. And it doesn't go very well. They basically just kind of get knocked around. They try to use their powers. Donnie has the staff he tries to use. Nothing is working, though. Like Tila's trying to use her staff, but they just kind of get knocked around. Michelangelo is able to sneak up on He-Man, steal his sword, and then do the call out, by the power of Grayskull. But nothing happens. And that's when we cut to Man-at-Arms and Shredder and them. And there's like a funny moment where Krang says, it's been a pleasure working with you, Skeletor. And Skeletor's like, baddie buddies forever, man. So it's like, okay. But then the portal opens and Ninjor shows up. And he gets pissed off. He says that you guys just use me as a lackey, and the universe gifted me with what I deserve, the scepter that bends fate. And now with it, I can show you my true power. And he just starts knocking around everybody. He beats the hell out of Man-at-Arms. He knocks Shredder down and defeats him. And then he pours some of the ooze on himself. So he starts mutating. And then we cut back to He-Man, and Michelangelo gets saved by Splinter, and Mikey says, I tried to use the sword to make me powerful, but I messed up. Here, Father, like you use it. And Splinter's like, you misunderstand the sword. I meditated upon it, and I found that it is imbued with ancient wisdom, and it does not give power to those who want. It gives knowledge to those who need. And its most important gift is showing its bearer that what it is to live with the changes from powerless to powerful. Meanwhile, back with Ninjor, he looks, I don't know what to describe him as. Maybe kind of like a humanoid dragon, it kind of looks like. And there's this one kind of funny moment where he grabs Shredder and he like smashes him into a wall and then chucks him. And this panel here, it looks like Shredder is just butt naked. He's not, but it just, the way that this panel is colored, it looks like him getting hit into the wall, like knocked all of his clothes off. and now you can see his little butt cheeks. But Splinter basically continues meditating on the sword, and he's able to, I guess, send knowledge into He-Man. He basically gets to push into He-Man like what all his friends and loved ones are feeling, the pain that you have to bear, the pain that we all have to bear. It's kind of confusing, but basically he's able to get He-Man to depower and turn back into his regular form, or turn back into He-Man, I should say, because his regular form would be Adam. But he turns back into He-Man because Splinter reminds Adam of who he really is. That's when April, she gets powers. She picks up the scepter. I think she picks up, she picks up Donnie's scepter, and it basically almost kind of makes her look like Tila. She has like this like eagle power. Like she's flying, and she uses the scepter to blast at Ninjar. And Ninjar tries to fly away, but everyone teams up together, and they all beat the crap out of Ninjar. And he's defeated. He powers down back to his human form. Krang and Shredder are able to use a teleporter to get out, and Skeletor is like, "Come on, Krang, help a baddie buddy out," and Krang just leaves him. And that's when April is able to use the scepter and I guess throw Skeletor in some kind of prison or something, or just kind of hold him there so that He-Man's group can throw him into jail. But regardless, Ninjar gets dumped into this reality, is the nexus of all reality, and he's basically going to be trapped there. He's going to be in prison there. He's not going to be able to escape or do anything. Meanwhile, Rennet starts sending everyone back their own separate ways, and as she is unraveling all of the threads, she starts realizing that everyone's going to eventually start losing memories of each other. So all the lessons that they learned, the friendship that they build, He-Man and the Turtles are going to forget all about it. Eventually it's just going to disappear from their memories, and they'll never be able to remember each other or what they've gone through. And Rennet feels kind of sad about this. So she decides, well, in this case, I'm going to let one little loose thread. Instead of fixing all the threads, I'm going to let one of them go, just so they can remember each other. But then I guess that might spell disaster in the future, because we get a, the end question mark, and maybe that's going to be like a follow-up story. Is going to be, if they do another He-Man Turtles crossover, it can be because Rennet decided not to fix all the time streams so that they can remember each other. But yeah, that's the end of the issue and the end of the series. And I found it to be okay. I feel like this last issue like really kind of speed through everything. I think maybe we could have had one more issue to kind of slow things down a bit. Instead, it feels like this final issue just went really fast. Like Ninjar was chasing Rennet, then he fell into where everyone else is being kept, and the battle there was kind of fast. Even the battle between He-Man and the Turtles was kind of fast. I think maybe it could have been better if we stretched it down to 2 issues. I also feel like the reveal of Ninjar was too rushed. Like we didn't really know too much about the antagonists, and then we find out everything about the antagonists, their very brief backstory, and their goals all in the same issue. And it would have been better if we could have seen the antagonist maybe from the get-go, or maybe like we saw like his silhouette or something at the end of issue 1. Basically, we have this character that's kind of like hanging over this group, and we kind of build him up to be this baddie. But instead, it kind of feels like he came out of nowhere, and then his story was just quickly dumped on us before he was quickly defeated. So that was like my biggest problem with this. It's just the pacing, which is something that always happens in miniseries. I've brought this up in other videos. Every time I read a miniseries, the pacing is always terrible. And it never makes any sense to me. Like the pacing will be, the first few issues are very, very slow, and then the final issue or 2 will be super fast. In this case, the first 3 issues were kind of slow, and then the final issue was super quick. And to me, it's like, this isn't an ongoing series, and all of a sudden the series gets axed, so you have to wrap everything up real quickly. This is a mini series. You already know how many issues you're going to be given. You should be able to pace things out so that we're not like super slow and then super fast, where everything is evenly paced. You know exactly how many issues you're getting. You should know exactly, okay, here's what's going to happen in this issue, this issue, this issue, and this issue, and then everything's wrapped up. But instead, it kind of feels like the writer was I don't know, maybe throwing ideas at the wall or something. Like it felt like he was trying to slowly build up about the lore and the world and stuff like that, and the characters' interaction in 3 issues, and then realize, oh damn, I only have one more issue left. So let's wrap everything up. That's what it feels like. I'm not saying that's what the writer did, but that's how it reads to me, anyways. So yeah, the pacing's super quick in this issue. I didn't care for that too much. Artwork is really good. I like the artwork. Overall, I did enjoy this run. I thought it was entertaining. I liked it, and I would definitely want to read a follow up. So don't take my criticism of it as me hating on this series. I enjoyed it for the most part. I just think that if you had fixed the pacing a bit, this could have been a really awesome series. Whereas now it's just a pretty decent series. It's entertaining, it's enjoyable, but it's not as great as it could have been. But all in all, yeah, this was okay. I liked it. Could have been better, but it was fine. So there you go. There's Masters of the Universe, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles of Grayskull, issue number 4 from Dark Horse Comics. I would like to see a follow-up. But there you go. Hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.